Hello and welcome to Steve's Backyard Bonsai. This is my Seiju elm, and boy do I have a lot of decisions to make on this one. It's full of branches, it's full of oak catkins or whatever you call these things. I'll clean that all up and we got to make some branch selections. This has the potential to be an absolutely amazing tree. I have to learn all about it. It is an elm, like a Chinese elm. It has a tiny leaf. Some of these are suffering. I'll have to look for insects. Or maybe it's just what it does in the hot sun and I got to put it in the shade more. It is a beautiful tree, and let's start looking at the branches. All right, I'm going to spin it around slowly. Just take a good look at the mass of branching. Got some serious problems in here with branches that just kind of cross over somewhere else, but those are the easy ones. How do I make this look like a little elm tree? It's going to be a challenge, it really is. Let me know if anyone has experience with Seiju elm and can make some suggestions. I don't know what to do with this branch, so I'm going to leave it for now. Let me just go through it and take off the debris that's on it. I took a root cutting from this tree and I'll show it to you. It's the only root cutting I ever took that anything ever happened to it. And I'm so glad, because this is a pretty cool tree. It's a giant root. Let me get it. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a piece of the root, and it went diagonally across and it had legs everywhere. And I discussed at the time that I would be doing a root cutting. So I've got a little triple trunk on this side and looking like a double trunk on this side. How cool is that? All right, just goes to show you these things work. Time for some serious business here. And I'll try and zoom in on areas in editing so you can see what I'm doing. You want things growing outward. So there's a bunch here that's growing inward that I'll just get rid of right off the bat. I'm wondering if I need a different scissors. Okay. I'm thinking I should put these cuttings aside too. Yeah, this is kind of a special tree. I've got some dead stuff happening right here. Or it's not really dead, it's just ugly. See if I can untangle that, and if it's anything I can use. It might be. It might be. This interferes with it. Some dead bits here and here. This branch comes from another trunk and crosses this one. Dead growth, dead growth. Yeah, I don't like this one. That's the one I was messing with before. All right, now we're getting somewhere. This one goes straight up. At the base of it, it has a branch going out. I'm going to leave that. This interior growth, I'm going to shorten because it's kind of cute. And this from the other trunk, I'm going to take off. This is going down. It has a piece that's going back up. Do I like that? I don't like that. I'm going to cut that off, exposing some dead growth, some crotch growth. But unlike what I did on my burning bush, where possible, I am going to cut these whips back and try to get some ramification this year. All right, I'll try and zoom up on this, but if you can see right here, I have a branch coming this way, a nascent branch, but a branch, and I got some further up too, but I could go all the way back to here to get some ramification. And I may well do that. This part interferes. Should I work on the other side? Yeah, let me work on the other side. Whenever I do this, I feel like I'm looking at a completely different tree. Okay, so these branches will get pockmarked with, little places where the branchettes come out. And they seem to be on one side and the other. And do they alternate? Yeah, they appear to alternate. If you look at this right here, you see that the branching alternates off the main branch. This side, then that side, then this side, then that side. And there is a bud at each one. On the new branching anyway, not so much on the lignified. Okay, this is crossing all of that and kind of very strong, so I'm going to cut it back. This is kind of an unfortunate branch here. So I'm not sure what to do. I'm letting this grow, I'm letting this grow, just so that there's life down lower. It's very unfortunate that I didn't get growth along there. I'm going to try and chase some of this back so that I do get that. All right, so this is the first wing and a prayer cut I'm doing. So I'd like this to produce a branch that grows this way. And the same here. That doesn't look so good now, does it? It's not like I don't have any branching there at all. I do. It just kind of grows back toward the tree, but I don't know that I dislike that, especially if I get some growth back down here. Here, I'm going to shorten it so that this branch and this branch can develop and maybe bifurcate. Oh, look how small that foliage is. It's just great. All right, I want to shorten this. And I've got branching here and here. I want to shorten this. And I've got branching here and here. No branching here yet, but never say die. This one grows back and kind of up. Hoping for some new branching there. And cut the tip off of that. Cut this back to the first. Now the first are way, way down there. To an outward facing leaf. That's actually an inward facing leaf. All right, cut this back. All right, so that's simplified this branch tremendously. Let's see what happens. All right, this branch. I'm tempted to take this whole top off, which would eliminate this, but I could stimulate this and cut it back. That is a big cut. But this is only slightly narrower up here than this down here, whereas this taper is beautiful. So I'm not gaining much by having that there, so I'm going to take it off. Trying to find the best angle to attack it. Right there. Like it or not, that's what I did. And there's some great cuttings on that. So there's a branch here growing back toward the tree. There's some clutter here. Oh, that could be a back branch, can't it? That could be a back branch. I've actually got a lot of choices of back branches. That one's too low. Just clear out some clutter here. Got a double branch there. Oh, I like what I did there. All right, let me refine it. I'm trying to see if I want to take that top down a little bit further. There's an eye poker right here. Got two branches there. This one, I like the angle of this one, complements that a lot better. So I'm going to take this upper one off. Got two coming out of the same spot here. This one's more radial. I've got a pretty hefty leader here that I could, well, is that the leader or is this the leader? I think the one that comes forward should be the leader. This is pretty close to this, so I got to figure out if I'm keeping one or the other. excuse me, I'm going to cut this one off, and I'll clean up that the area where I cut that from, because there were a lot of branches coming from there, just thickening up. All right, I'm going to work back to that. Here's a little branch that can come out. This is radial, this is not. I've got that area filled, or I can have that area filled from back here, partially anyway. This has a branch, lots of branches. I'm going to clean up that cut anyway. Yeah, that's not so good. Nice sharp knife. And I'll get some tight bond on there. I want it to dry out a little. This branch interferes with the other side of the tree. I think I'm going to take the top off of it and reduce that down to there. Take these lower bits off, shorten this, shorten this. I'm going to shorten this. Oh yeah, I wanted to look at that. If I want to keep one here, it's definitely not this one. And it isn't the lower one. I'm just leaving that there just to thicken the trunk. These are on an inside of a curve. I don't really mind it. I just clean that up a little. That one will deserve a little cut paste as well. All right, I got to shorten this. I'm going to take this branch off right here. Shorten that. Get a nice little whirl of ramification there. Shorten that. And shorten that. I'm going to remove this branch here, which grew toward the inside, as does this one lower, but I'm going to leave it. So if I take the top off and shorten this back, I can shorten it back even further. And I can go further back with this. I got good separation now between this, if this becomes a pad, and this, which should become a pad. This is now shortened. These two come from the same bulge. So I have to make a choice here. I've already selected that one because it comes forward. I can fill that spot. a lot of these decisions are tough ones. That was a tough one. All right, just cleaned up that cut point. All right, let's look and evaluate. Not much more to go on this. I do like this branch because you can see it. The one above it you can see, but it's too close to this branch. Looking from the back, that's a mess. This is my only real back branch. I'm going to make a decision here. I don't even know if I'm going to keep this whole branch, but I made a decision there. Yeah, okay. So my only back branch is gone. I've got some down here I can develop. I'm going to take this one off of here. I'm leaving 2 branches there. One of those will become a back branch. Is this my new leader right here? I think so. Cut these 2 back to there. And to there. I'm going to eliminate this branch. Oh, and this one too. This is still a little weird here. Now I'm going to take this piece off of here. And I'm going to leave this. I'm going to take this little piece off. All right. That's it on my Seiju elm. This is a little long, but I'm trying to drive the foliage further down. I'll put some cut paste on. This will go outside on the bench. Thanks for keeping me company in my backyard.